everyone, welcome to another episode of Canadian Carp Anglers. Today I'll be showing you how to set up your rig to catch ballyhoo. Now some of the components that you will be needing for this project are snap swivels, egg sinkers, floats, monofilament line, and in this case size 10 hooks. Basically what you need to do is, this is how you set up your float. What I've done is I've got the snap swivel right here, and then I have an egg sinker which I've secured to the float with a monofilament line. I've passed it through the center of the float, and I've made an antenna out of a kebab skewer that goes into the center of the hook. This is the float. This is basically how I bought it, and this is what you're going to need to do. So swivel attached to the main line, which is monofilament, through an egg sinker, goes through the center of the swivel, or sorry, center of the float, and an antenna which helps me register a bite. Now what I've done here is I've added a bead. This is a glow in the dark bead, and if you're out there early in the morning, if you charge this up with your flashlight, it will help you see it better in the dark. Let me just show you. So as you can see, this does glow in the dark, and it will help you see the float much better in the dark. Now the best bait to use to catch ballyhoo is dough. So what I do is I go to the local bakery, I pick up a couple of pounds of dough, chop them into tennis size balls, put them in individual bags and freeze them up. And then every time I go out for a session, I just pick up a bag, put it in my cool box, and that usually lasts me for the whole session. Another tip I wanted to share with you is, if you are catching a lot of bait fish, and it's one of the best baits, so what you'd probably want to do is keep probably 10 or 15 bait fish. I know they will die once you get them out of the water, that's natural. Just keep them in bags, keep them in the cool box. When you go home, pop them in the freezer, and every time you go fishing, instead of waiting to catch a bait fish, you can use your dead bait, in this case the ballyhoo. Just put it on the hook, cast it out. You can catch a lot of fish. A lot of fish do love ballyhoo, and you will catch fish with them. And if you do catch a bait fish which is alive, just pull in your line, remove the dead fish, put on the fresh fish which is alive, recast, and you will get a proper fish. We have caught kingfish with dead bait. We've caught groupers, sharks, cobia. I mean, everything will take dead bait because they know it as food. Yes, if you have a live fish, it is much better, but sometimes it is really difficult to catch live bait, especially if it's windy. Fish tend to go away. I don't know the reason, but since you are going fishing, you've made the effort, it's good to back yourself up. This is another float I've done. Again, another Linné float. These are really good floats, well designed. The only issue with them is that they're not meant for catching ballyhoo. These are all freshwater floats, but the adjustments I've done is, again, I've taken the egg sinker, I've widened up the hole using a drill bit, and I've inserted into the carbon rod here, which is part of the float, and I've tied it all down with a wire and secured everything to the swivel using super glue. And let me show you how this behaves once it's cast out. I've got here a small bottle of water. So basically, as you can see, the depth's right. The minute I get a take, this will sink, or it'll go left or right. Now, one more tip I wanted to share with you. If your float is this long, you're going to make a leader really short, and the reason being, the longer your line, the more chance that the fish will swallow the bait with the hook. And in order to remove the hook, you're probably going to kill the fish, which doesn't serve the purpose. So the shorter your line, which is attached to the hook, the easier it is to remove. Now, one of my favorite floats is this little guy here. This sits this high up in the water, and once I've attached my line to it, it's probably 10 centimeters below the surface. It immediately registers a bite the minute the fish starts nibbling on my bait, and because it's so short, the fish don't have a chance of swallowing the hook. So immediately, once I strike, it's either hooked in the lip or on the beak, and it's really easy to remove. You don't damage the fish. Just remove the hook, put the hook in the back, and cast out. And hopefully that's going to catch you some nice decent big kings. Anyhow, I hope I answered all your questions. If you have any questions, do send me a message through YouTube. I will get back to you the first chance I get, and I hope it helps. And just send me your replies, whether you've caught fish or not, and whether you need any help on any other rigs. I am there to help. So take care, tight lines, and enjoy the outdoors. Cheers. That's how you catch a ballyhoo.